to From Porch Fiber. If this is your first time, welcome. I'm Amber. I'm a knitter or all-round maker who resides in Northern Virginia. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. I hope that you're finding some information or just someone to listen to while you are cozy somewhere with a cup of tea or coffee or your own knitting or making projects. So, I haven't posted in a really long time. I actually shot a video because I was really desperately trying to get a video out because it had been so long, and I didn't take any notes. I just talked about my objects, and it was a hot mess, and I didn't even bother editing it. I was like, just when winter break gets here, I'm gonna do one. And I desperately wanted to do one before the holidays, and it didn't really happen. December was really crazy. So Thanksgiving, my sister-in-law and her new husband came to visit, and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, who live nearby in Maryland, came, and so we had a house full of people over Thanksgiving. And that was great. It was good to see my sister-in-law, and we had a really nice time playing games and just getting together. And then December was upon us. I didn't even manage to get my house decorated for Christmas until well into December because we were just so busy. So once we returned to school at the end of the month, my daughter had dress rehearsals every day for a big holiday concert that her school does, and she's in choir and orchestra, and so she was involved in a lot of moving parts with that. And so she had 2 nights of shows she did, plus all the dress rehearsals. And my son had 2 concerts in that time because he is in choir and band. And so we had that going on. Interspersed, we had some fun activities that we had planned. My husband and I went to see 2 Shakespeare plays in December, and also we took my daughter to see the improvised Shakespeare company in the Kennedy Center, and that was a blast. We had a really great time, but we had a lot of activities. We saw the band Stars. They did a show. They called it a Christmas show, but it was mostly just their songs, and it was great, and we had a good time, and we all went to that. And so it's just really, there wasn't really a single day where we weren't doing something. Once school was out, I had the holiday cookie party, which is a tradition I started for my kids when they were really little. It started with just my nephew who would come to visit, and then my kids, and then eventually we started inviting the kids' friends, and we didn't do it the last several years because of the pandemic, basically. So this year we brought it back, even though my daughter is now almost 16 years old, and my son is almost 13 years old. They were still really excited to bring their friends over and decorate some cookies. So as soon as school was out, because I'm an English teacher, we basically went into full-blown cookie mode. And then, even though we weren't having a ton of people come over for Christmas, my nephew did fly in from Texas, and we had him here, and we made cookies and candy and all the things I used to do with my grandmother, and it was getting ready for just the holidays itself. And so the last couple of days I've just tried to recover, and I was doing pretty well, but then my husband got sick, and so now I've got some kind of weird cold thing going on. But I really needed to post because I haven't posted in a long time, and I didn't want anybody to forget that I was here or think I just left this project. It's just that a lot of stuff kind of interfered. So I promise that in the new year I'm going to be better, once a month at least, and maybe a few more times, because I have some ideas. I'd really like to do a couple of things. I'd like to do a knitting plans, because I have lots of knitting plans for 2023, as well as some weaving plans and spinning plans. And I would also like to go through my unfinished objects and either frock them or work on them, complete them. I have a lot that I should complete. They just sit there, and I have some really nice yarn that I used for some of them, and if I'm not going to finish them, then I need to do something else with them for sure. So I'd like to do 2 videos like that. So hopefully before I go back to school in the next few days, I'll have a little bit more content to share with you. So anyway, today is, I don't think I told you the day, but today is December 29th, I think. I've lost track of time. It's December 29th. It is a Thursday. It's hard to believe that my break is almost done. Besides just being busy, I have done a few things. I have knit a lot, and I finished some gift knitting, and even though I don't have those with me because it's after the holidays, I will talk about them. I also have, I finished my reading challenge on Goodreads, which is the first year I've finished it in a long time, which seems counterintuitive since I teach English for a living, but I read a lot of essays and student papers and professional development books that I don't always count in my reading challenge. So, but I did finish it this year, so I'm really proud of myself for that. And I got a lot of new books for Christmas, so I'm excited to start delving into some of those soon. Right now, I've got 2 loaves of white sandwich bread that are rising. I hope they all go well. I've never been a bread maker. I do a lot of baking. I enjoy baking. I do a lot of cakes and cake decorating, but I've never really delved into the realm of bread making, but I wanted to try it. So my son had gotten me the Paul Hollywood Bake cookbook for Christmas, and so I wanted to try to make bread like Paul Hollywood. And I've already had a few mishaps, but we'll see how these first 2 loaves turn out. But they're downstairs proofing right now, so that's what's going on there. But I should probably get on with the knitting. That's what you're here for. So, I am wearing my Getting Warmer cowl. See it? This is by Espace Tricot. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I saw this in Fibrespace when I went shopping. It's the first time I'd ever been in that store, which is in Alexandria. It's in Old Town. And I always get Alexandria and Arlington confused because I'm not from here, but it's Alexandria. And I went to Old Town, and I was browsing with my daughter because she was picking out sock yarn because I knit socks for my family for Christmas. And I was just browsing around, and on a mannequin I saw this lovely cowl, and I could not believe it was a free pattern, and the yarn was beautiful. So the yarn that this is Woolfolk, and it's Woolfolk Luft, and it's color L29, so it's like a mustardy color. This was the color the mannequin was in, and probably a big part of the reason why I liked it so much, because I seem to be drawn to these colors a lot. My daughter gives me a hard time about it. I knit this on a 10.5. It did not take me very long at all. It was very mindless and beautiful, but it has a really nice, like, ribbed, you can see that, ribbing, and then it's really just garter all the way back up to the neck as it kind of gets smaller as you go up. And I think it looks really super sophisticated, and just, it's nice and warm and woolly. The Luft is a blown yarn, and it just has this like beautiful like halo, soft halo of that mustard color, and a little bit you can see like the chainette. So like blown yarn is like a woven like chainette structure, and then fiber is blown into the tube, and so it kind of just halos out into a really, really beautiful, like fluffy, warm, woolly yarn. And so that's what I'm wearing today. Very much. So I finished this back in November, and haven't been able to share it with you yet. But it was fast knit, and super sophisticated and warm and great to throw on in my classroom because it is cold. I teach in a really old building, and my classroom is either hot, like the middle of the summer hot, or it's freezing cold, and I have to wear gloves and a coat while I'm teaching. So, yeah, but that's the way it is. Okay, so what do I want to, so the last time we chatted, it's been a while, the last time we chatted, I was working on a couple of works and projects that I finished, thankfully. So, and some I haven't. One of them is downstairs. I forgot to bring it up. But I'll show it to you because it's going to be finished before break, I hope. I just have a little bit more left to do. But the last time we chatted, I swore to you I was going to finish my outline tee. And I did. And there it is. You can see it. Pretty. Let's see. It's very oversized. Back up a little bit more. Very oversized. I'm very happy with how it turned out. It's a little bit bigger than I thought it would be, and it is an oversized pattern. It's supposed to be, so it didn't turn out to the size it's supposed to be. I just think I prefer maybe things that fit a little more closely. But I used Magpie Fibers Equinox Sport for this in the color Follow You in the Dark. And you can see it has this really great, let's see, drop stitch, focus, pattern, which you like just knit the whole thing, and then before you bind off, you just drop them down. And it creates a really nice one. My favorite aspect is the way it did it around the collar. So pretty. So, I wore this to the 1975 concert in November, and it was a lot of fun. It gets really hot in the anthem, so it was a good choice to layer over a tank for that show. So yeah, so that is my outline tee by Jessie May, and I used a size 4 for the ribbing, which is a 3.5 millimeter, and then a 3.75 millimeter, or size 5, for the rest of the sweater and the garment. I did knit the size medium, and I finished it sometime in October. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of it and excited to wear it quite a bit in the summer. Another finished object I have, and I'll see how I can get this on the way I want it to, is my iris hat. I wanted a slouchy beanie, which is totally the thing I got in this hat. This is the Iris hat by Sari Nordlund. It is a slouchy beanie that you can fold up 3 times to get a really super rolled hem around your ear, or your ears to keep them extra warm, but not the extra warmth on top. I like this pattern a lot. I would knit it again. There's a couple of things I would do differently. But I just finished knitting my nephew the muscle ball hat in Rowan soft alpaca DK, and I really actually like the whole double knit beanie look. So the next one I do, I'm going to do that. But this is the Iris hat, again by Sari Nordlund. I do like it. It's just a ribbed beanie. But it is started from the top down, and I did have some issues starting. I never start a hat from the top down because it does this like disappearing circle thing, and I just was struggling. But I was holding it double, and I think that I struggled with it because I was holding it double, and I think that's what gave me issues. So with the circle, because once I took the mohair out and started with the single merino, and I was able, and then added the mohair in the next row, I didn't have problems anymore. So I think it's just getting caught as that magic loop was disappearing. But I liked knitting a hat from the top down. That was great because you can just knit as long as you want it to be, and I like the finished look of it. I just like it. So yeah. So I guess since I've been telling you like my struggles in yarn, I knit this in a size 3 or a 3.25 millimeter needle. It was knit in the round using magic loop, and I used La Bien Ami merino singles in Nadia, which is like this beautiful pink. Ballet pink is what I think of. And then I used the La Bien Ami mohair, silk mohair in High Garden, which was this beautiful, had these beautiful speckles. So the speckles you see are that. And I'll hold it up close in just a second. Yeah, but it was a struggle starting the hat from the top. You can kind of see the top there. And how that looks, but you can see how pretty it is, like held together. Just like looking at it, all the little speckles, it's really pretty. And I'm not a huge speckle yarn person, but holding it with the single color tonal with the mohair, speckled mohair was really just the way to go. It really turned out quite lovely. And so that is my iris hat, and I like it a lot. And it was really cute on me. So that was the hat I did. And then finally, so this should have been sent in a package over a month ago. Like I told you, I was busy, but like it should not be that hard to go to the post office, but it is so hard to go to the post office, and I really need to send this, and I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm finally gonna go mail it after this podcast. But this here is the Festival Baby Sweater by Petite Knits. This is the 6-month size. This is knit in the Fiber Company Amble in White Heather, and then in these minis for Ridiculous yarn. So there's little, it is called surf fishing, but I thought they were so cute for a little boy. I just think this is darling. I would have totally had my kid wear this. There's something so retro about these colors too in this sweater. So yeah, it's Ridiculous, and it's Addie mini. It's a mini pack. Addie mini pack by Ridiculous Yarn, and in surf fishing. So you have like this like pale yellow and this dark gold and this really sandy brown and this foamy gray and this blue sea. It's just beautiful. I just really like it. And I hope the family likes it. It's so cute. So let me look back. I don't remember what needle size I used. So I used a 2.5 millimeter and for the ribbing, and a 3 millimeter for the rest of it. The rest of the sweater. I love these little baubles on the stripes. You can see them. They're so pretty. They're so pretty, those little baubles. And I loved the neck. And now the neck is folded down and gives you a really fluffy, like tight neck. But yeah, so beautiful. But I'm mowing it tomorrow finally, because I had to talk about it and take pictures of it. But luckily the baby is not quite 6 months, and it should still fit him when he gets it, I hope. Because I'm the worst. I'm terrible about mowing things. Alright, so I did do a lot of gift knitting. Like I said, I did socks for my entire family. I think I showed you my husband's socks. They were the GRK Everyday socks. I had knit a purple pair for myself and loved it, so I knit some navy blue for my husband. He really liked them. And then I knit the bear paw socks for my son in Ferrari colors because he's a big Ferrari fan, and he's currently wearing them, which is why I didn't have them to show you, because he loves them. So they're like fiery red, but they are the Bear Paws by Andrea Mowry of DRK Knits, and I love the pattern. I have some bear paw sock yarn that I ordered from Farmer's Daughter Fibers to knit my own pair of that. So I have those to go, and that'll be fun. So when I finally get time to do that. I hear that the Make 9 challenge is coming back. I saw on Instagram, so I'm gonna explore maybe what my Make 9 would be. I definitely am looking forward to the Shifty cardigan that's supposed to come out in January. I typically get to go on a yarn shopping spree for my birthday, and that's when I buy my spin cycle yarns. So I'm definitely going to be buying some spin cycle to make that, or to make Spark, which is the other Drea Renee knits cardigan I've had my eyes on for a while, and the Stonecrop Cardi. Eventually I'll get to that one. So, but I have some challenges I want to do, things I haven't knit in a while that I'd like to try my hand at. I've done some mosaic knitting, but not any color work, so I'd like to find some really nice color work patterns to do. And the such, I have been eyeing the window pane blanket from Grist to do some weaving, because I've done towels and coasters and a few other things and scarves. I'd really like to do a woven blanket for our living room. I think that would be nice. So I've been eyeing that kit, so I might just get that and have that to share with you. Alright, I'm back. My camera died. My battery died. I haven't charged it in a while because I haven't used it in a while, which actually turns out it's not the end of the world bad thing, because I hadn't really pulled out my acquisitions that I wanted to talk about, and so I just wasn't going to show you. But since my camera died and I was going to have to refilm anyway, I guess I'll show you my acquisitions. So here we go. So like I said, I don't have any works in progress to show you. I have one that I'm working on. It's the Morning Rituals by Andrea Mowry of Drea Renee Knits, and it is in Patagonia by Juniper Moon Farms, and it's this beautiful seafoam green color. And I'm finishing the collar now, and then I'm going to block it. So I left it downstairs with my chart, and rather than disrupt my process, because I desperately really want to finish this sweater before I go back to work next week, I didn't bring it up here, but it will be in the next video, so hopefully I'll be wearing it. Hopefully it fits, because I'm not 100% sure I nailed it on this one. The collar looks really tight, but I also know that cables tend to really open up when you block it, so that's why before I move any further in the process, I'm going to block and see what's up. So I'll be showing you that, and if it's a fail, I'll talk about what I did wrong. I did gauge swatch. I did a larger gauge swatch too, so really just maybe I should have gauge swatched with some cables so I could have really seen how it was going to lay out, but I don't know. So we'll see. So I do have that downstairs. But I am going to show you the acquisitions that I have, and it's getting a little dark in here. I don't know if if I can fix the lighting. It's just part of that whole like winter time thing. I think I have all the way up. So it just is, I don't have any actual lighting in this room besides 2 Cricut lamps that I use when I'm working up here. It's just when this house was built, they didn't put any electrical wiring in the room, so I don't have any lights in the ceiling. I only have lamps, which is not ideal to work with, although I will say that the sunlight in this room is typically pretty good. for the most part. But when it starts to get dark, it's almost impossible to work up here. So that's it. I'm going to get to my acquisitions. In October, Quince Fiber did like I can't even remember what they called it now. It's been so long. But it was basically their kind of colors that don't turn out as well. And it was like a mystery pack, and you could, order different bases, and then you would get the just kind of like random mystery packs of skeins. And so I got, I didn't order right away, and I wish I had, because I would have gotten more of what I wanted, but I did get Owl, which is a wool alpaca worsted weight, and I got a couple of these in this color, and then I got this, and a really pretty green, and a really pretty blue, and I like them all. I think they're perfect for some color work, and I just received an email from Quince with like mitten patterns, but it requires 5 different colors, and I don't have 5 colors, but I have 4 colors. So I'm gonna look and see what I can do to adapt that pattern with the 4 I have, or see if I have something similar in my stash that I could use to make the 5 colors that'll coordinate nicely with those. But I may be making some mittens, which would be really nice. Or some color work knits, because my classroom is so cold. I talked to you a little bit about my gift knits. So I knit my son the Bear Paw socks by Andrea Mowry, which is basically her everyday socks in DK weight. And it's they're very fast. I finished my son's socks, and his feet are my size. I finished his socks in 2 days. So it's a very fast pattern. And so the original pattern, I knit his just in a single DK strand. It worked out great. But the original pattern actually for designed, it's called Bear Paws because it's designed for to hold 2 yarns together, 2 fingering yarns together. And so Farmer Daughter Fibers has a sock yarn that's very popular that is called Bear Paws. And so I did order 2 of those in these pretty coppery color. Again, kind of the colors I tend to drift toward, and this really nice like purple. I just love these 2 colors together. So the purpley one is called Bitter Root. It's very pretty. And the other one is Sunstone, and it's 20% yak, 10% nylon, and 70% superwash merino. So really gonna make really nice socks. And these are for me. These are selfish socks. They are for me. I'm making them for me. So I have those to look forward to, and I'm definitely gonna be casting these on soon, as soon as I finish my daughter's socks, because everyone got socks for Christmas. My daughter got 1 sock because I didn't finish in time. But I'm working on it, so she will have it very, very soon. I just have the heel and foot left. The other yarn I was really excited to get since I talked to you last is I had missed the initial release of the Ireland collection by Explore Knits, and I really, really wanted some of those colors, and I just slept on it. Did not realize that it would go so quickly. And totally forgot to set a reminder. So that when the second release came out, I set a reminder and was able to get a couple of colors, and it was really hard to pick. But I picked a pattern because I was like, I want something I can wear a lot, that I'll really enjoy wearing, they'll be really pretty. And so I went for the rose, I looked at the yardage for the rose gold crescent shawl by Andrea Mowry of Drea Renee Knits. Yes, there's typically a theme. I like her aesthetic a lot. I really like her shawl patterns. I knitted the Nightshift shawl last year for my birthday with the yarn I got for my birthday, and I loved it. And also my favorite sweater is my DRK everyday sweater, which I am going to be knitting another one of those very soon, and it's something I've looked at a couple of yarns for that. Maybe I'll do it in the Glory Confetti by Bobby and Me because I think it's so pretty, and I think it would make a really great everyday sweater and kind of fun. So, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a shawl. So I picked this really lovely cashmere cavern sock in woodruff, and it's kind of funny because my husband he brews beer for a hobby, and we like craft beer a lot. We moved from Colorado. It's a big part of our life there, and so we spend a lot of time. And there's a brewery in Colorado that makes a really nice Berliner Weisse, and you pour different syrups in it to get different flavors, and they make a woodruff syrup, which is traditional to the area of Germany, and I loved. It's one of my all-time favorite beer experiences. And this is woodruff, and I guess it's from the flowers from the herbs that they make that syrup with, but it's very pretty. The syrup tastes a little bit like Lucky Charms marshmallows. And this kind of makes me think of that for some reason, like the purple moons. I don't know. They're very pretty. And then the other color I got to go with it is this really deep brownish purple. So this is My Guinness, which is another beer that we really enjoy, and together. And I thought this would make a really great brioche stitch shawl. And so I picked the rose gold shape. I thought it was really pretty, and I thought that these two colors would be great. So I'm going to be starting this very soon, maybe even tonight. And then this and this is from Magpie Fibers. I'm very lucky that I live very close to Magpie Fibers, but also it's very dangerous. I just have a skein of a limited edition colorway right now on my cart because I want to make another pair of bear paw socks out of it. But it's really lovely too. This is Plume, which is 75% cashmere, 25% silk, and this is in the color Ash. It's so pretty. It's so soft. It's so soft. I can't wait to have a garment knit with this, combined with my Swanky sock, DK. So I got this, or this is just Swanky sock, not DK. I got this just the regular one because I'm going to put these two together to get something close to a DK to make the Grace wrap sweater. So this is London Rain. I really want to have this done in time to take it with me to London where I'm going, so I have something to put on at night if it's chilly. Probably won't be that chilly, or a theater. I don't know. But I love this color. It's like this gray and these blues and these greens. So pretty. I mean, it's something I'm planning for. Like, what knits am I going to take with me to London this summer? I really definitely, here is the Ash up close. So I'm going to hold these together for that wrap sweater. And I'm very excited about this one. It's so pretty. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be beautiful. I love it. So yeah. So those are my newest acquisitions. I think everything else I like newly acquired, I've knit something out of, like this one. And then I did get that really nice Fiari red and gold color that I knit my son's socks out of. So hopefully I'll have those to show you next time when he's not wearing them. This right here I've showed you before. It's a ball because it was a cake, and I started the Brooklyn Raglan sweater a while ago. Like Thanksgiving, I think I started. I made lots of progress, but then I started seeing a lot of mistakes that I'd missed. And I was like, no, like I love this yarn. I want to love this sweater. So I frogged the whole thing. I was almost to the sleeves. is that I've done that much. So I frogged the whole thing, and we put it in a bowl, and I'm going to start again, and I'm going to do it as part of the Bougie Sweatshirt Knit Along by Young Folks Knits. I'm a huge fan of her podcast. I think she's really cool. And I like her style and her aesthetic, and anyway, I always like to think that, like, if we knew each other for real, we'd be really good friends. But yes, so this is going to be the Brooklyn Raglan, which will be my Bougie sweatshirt in this lovely Farmer Daughter Fibers craggy tweed. So yeah, so I only have a few more days left. Like I said, I'd like to release a couple of other podcasts that I'm planning. It tells you what my knitting plans, and also what unfinished objects I have lying around that I really need to get finished or frogged. Maybe if I'm going to do a Make 9, maybe I'll do a special edition on what I'd like to knit for London. Yeah, so lots of little things going on. I do have some stuff on my spinning wheel. I rejoined Hello Fiber Club. I had quit my fiber club because I was collecting so much fiber and not getting a lot of that spun. But I'd really like to, since, you know, one of my knitting goals, which is another podcast idea I have, knitting goals is to do a little more color work. I'd really like to use some of my own hand spun on some of that color work, so I'll be doing that. But yeah, so a few more days off. I'm about to put my first 2 loaves of bread in the oven and see how they turn out. They did rise, so there's that. So we'll see how they bake up and if the family likes them and if there's more bread making in my future. And let's see, I think that's really all I have. I hope you'll stick around and like my video, subscribe if you haven't, and comment below. Tell me, you know, what you are working on, what you're finished, what gift knits you've made or progress, or any of your like knitting plans. I'd love to hear from you. So until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of 2022 and a wonderful start to 2023.